Hi everybody, this is Dee over at Aloha Astro, and some of you may have noticed that I skipped the last lunation, the full moon, which occurred in Taurus. I believe it was November 4th. I'm sorry folks, but it occurred in my 12th house and I couldn't even find words. I had a lot going on, was extremely tired, and it was just felt as though I needed to be in my cave. So I hope that the full moon that occurred back on the 4th was not too problematic for everybody, but here we are 2 weeks later and we're looking at a new moon in Scorpio. I did some new things for my site that I just want everybody to be aware of if you visit regularly. And by the way, I'm trying to plow through creating an app so that those who schedule with me regularly can simply hit a button on their phone. I'm seeing from the stats that a good 75% of you are looking at my site on the phone and that you are scheduling using the phone. So I'm looking to develop an app that will make it easier than opening up my page. And this little schedule button has made it a bit easier at the top. Also, we're entering that whole Black Friday zone. And I just wanted to point out that if you are looking to get a gift for somebody and you don't know what to get them and they've never had their chart looked at before, I have gift certificates, and if you scroll about halfway down the page and you click there, you can access the full store, including gift certificates and other types of options for readings if you are thinking you might like to get that for somebody for the holidays. I have also added this Zazzle display here, and I've been creating some products on Zazzle, having fun with that. Even if you shop through this portal here to Zazzle and you buy an item that I didn't create, but it's anything else on Zazzle, I would still receive a small affiliate percentage, any sales that come through my site through this Zazzle portal. So check it out if you're interested in mugs or t-shirts or watches, and I'm continually adding items, and there are probably a couple of hundred different things right now. And I also wanted to update you all on a public statement here that any payments you make through the Stripe payment portal are direct deposited to a third-party supplemental needs trust that benefits my daughter. And some of you who know me personally know that she has a genetic disorder and a chronic illness, and this enables me to be able to stay home with her and care for her needs, the work that I do here online. And now let's take a look at what the new moon in Scorpio will be bringing. And actually today, the moon, well, we're looking here at November 18th. That is tomorrow at 6:42 a.m. We have the new moon in Scorpio at 26 degrees 19 minutes. And we'll look at the Sabian symbol for that in a moment. But today, which is the 17th, we have the moon a little bit earlier in Scorpio, and it has just passed over Jupiter and it is conjunct Venus. And I feel as though this might bring some lucky breaks for some people, or an increase in something good in your life, something optimistic. If you are seeking out help or blessing, or perhaps you are the person who's being moved to bestow a gift or some generosity or gratitude towards others, this is a very nice transit for doing so, as the moon is moving over Venus and Jupiter in Scorpio today. And it is making a trine to Neptune in Pisces. This brings a lot of flow and a lot of kindness and healing energy and sensitivity, added sensitivity. If you feel moved to do anything in particular today that reaches out to another person, follow up on that intuitive guidance and go ahead and do something nice for somebody else. Or if somebody reaches out to you and wants to do something nice for you, just say thank you and accept it. Tomorrow we'll be looking at the moon having moved away from Venus and Jupiter, but it will still be in the same sign. And as it joins the sun, and signals the new moon, we find the trine to Chiron being activated. And this can also bring some healing or some softening energy, a positive outlook for a new beginning, particularly. And I think that it helps cast a little bit of higher light or energy on the shadow that we have with this square between Saturn and Chiron. And this may be a tough one for some people, where there may be some lack or some loss or something that is painful or difficult or challenging within this square. Saturn is in Sagittarius, however, and I think that that is one of the happier places for Saturn to be. It's very hard to bring the, I always think of Sagittarius energy as being like a hot air balloon. And so maybe Saturn is the sandbag that's keeping the balloon from flying high enough. But I still feel as though the energy of Sagittarius cannot be harmed too much by Saturn, even though Saturn can be a taskmaster planet and a planet of lack or seriousness, duty, responsibility, restrictions. And the square to Chiron can mean that there may be some problems too within family life or marital life that has to be addressed while we have this square going on. And how can we find a solution to the problem? And I do feel that maybe the new moon is pointing to the fact that there can be a solution, or there are ways and means, there is help available, or there's healing available, and that we should look at things from a perspective of eliminating that which is unnecessary or anything that's detrimental, and looking toward the things that are constructive or positive at this point in time. We have another shadow. I feel it's a shadow in the overall joyousness of this time of year, and I do feel that this cluster of planets all here in Scorpio with Jupiter and Venus so close to each other is particularly nice this year. It brings out more of the generosity and the thankfulness at this Thanksgiving season as we enter into Thanksgiving here in the United States this week coming up ahead. And Mercury, too, is over here in Sagittarius, which is very high energy, very positive, thought-oriented. And with the trine it makes to the North Node in Leo, how can we improve things? How can we be more on purpose? How can we make life better? How can we bring the happiness, the joy, or the enthusiasm of life to others through the things that we think and say and do? And where can we go out there in the world and shine some light and bring some positive energy that moves things toward the better in a creative way and in an uplifting way? This shadow here, the square between Mars in Libra and Pluto in Capricorn, some people still might not want to compromise and get along, or there still may be some anger that comes up. Since these two planets are rather volatile and joined together, they can be difficult. So watch tempers would be the main thing, and strive for the harmony and the understanding through this sextile here between Mars in Libra and Mercury in Sagittarius. Sometimes people just have a bad day. Don't take things quite so personally. So let's take a look over here at the Sabian symbol for this particular moon, and we round it up to 27 degrees. A military band marches noisily on through the city streets, the aggressive glorification of cultural values. Every cultural social collectivity sooner or later tries to impress the value of its achievements forcibly and noisily upon all those who belong to it, as well as upon foreign onlookers. At the individual mental level, the member of such a collectivity swells with pride and excitement when a display of the excellence of that in which his consciousness and personality are deeply rooted is publicly affirmed. Thus, the feeling of social unity binds the individuals of a culture through collective pride. This second stage symbol contrasts sharply with the first one. Our aggressive, tense, domineering Western civilization is indeed in opposition to the natural spontaneity and instinctive adjustment to nature of tribal societies. The key word here is pomp. Well, there's a lot to think upon in here, especially since we've recently had some foreign visits politically, and I don't even really want to get into it. But as we go out spending our money during this Black Friday season, I would look upon how we're spending our money based on this. And are we spending money to project an appearance or to elevate ourselves in some way? Or are we spending money in a way that is doing good works or enabling people to have something of value, perhaps, that they really want and can use? So where are our cultural values? What do we value? I think would be an important thing to consider, and to be wise in our use of the word value comes up. And when we look at what we have going on between the recent moons, the full moon in Taurus, that rules the second house of money, personal finances. And when we get up to the 8th house, Scorpio, we're dealing with the shared assets, and how our country uses money might be something that is on a grander scale to look at right now. And of course, that's getting into the political realm, but on the personal realm, the way that we express our values and share our money with other people or do business, we have a lot of influence that we might not even be aware of. The choices we make in how we spend our personal finances or what we invest in. So that might be something to consider while we are looking at that Sabian symbol. So I think that's it for the new moon in Scorpio, and everybody have a safe and thankful Thanksgiving, and enjoy friends and family in the week ahead.